Nassourdine Imavov proved me wrong, and I am absolutely devastated. I'm an Izzy fan. It's not about betting on Izzy. I just go for Izzy. I root for him no matter what. And I said in the breakdown that it is a tough stylistic matchup. Of course, I said that Adesanya is going to destroy him in the title, but if y'all really watch the video and listen to what I said, I'm explaining how Imavov is really nice, and it could be a tough style for Adesanya to deal with. And let's just do a quick recap of the whole card. Starting at the main event. Oh my God. Imavov knocks out. He knocks out Adesanya in round number 2. Oh my God. You can see my live reaction. I was completely devastated. Adesanya looked really good in round number 1. Really good. He looked quick. His hands, his kicks. He was mixing it up well. Imavov looked good as well. They both looked quick. Imavov caught Adesanya with like a kind of like a shovel uppercut at the end, towards the end of the round. Caught Adesanya bit down on his mouthpiece, started swinging at Imavov. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is going to be a scrap. They're going after already. But then the moment the second round comes around, right in the beginning, Adesanya gets a quick eye poke. Instead of taking his time, he gets right back into it. And then Imavov, they get in a quick exchange. Imavov overhand rights Adesanya. Oh my God. Imavov is such a beast. He has hands. He has power. He can mix it up really good. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what this implies for Adesanya next. Honestly. He lost his last 3 in a row. Losing to Sean by decision. Losing to DDP by sub. And now Imavov by KO, TKO. Let's look at the stats for round 1. Look, 26 total strikes to 10 total strikes. Adesanya hands down won round 1 decisively. Even Adesanya went for, or Imavov went for a takedown, and Adesanya got back to his feet, got went for a quick reversal, went for a triple zone. He was looking really good. It looked like he added new tools to his stand-up. But it's just the fact that he got clipped so early. And then Imavov followed up with a beautiful, beautiful ground and pound shot. A left hook perfectly placed at the perfect time. Didn't even give Adesanya a second to recover. He caught him with the overhand while Adesanya fell in the clinch. He threw a left hook perfectly on Adesanya's jaw and then collapsed and then followed up with a ground and pound. It was extremely quick, violent. It was a bad knockout for Izzy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm coping right now, hands down. But I already knew. I said it. If you watch my breakdown, the whole time I'm saying how Imavov is nice. I'm not saying, oh, Imavov has no skill. I'm really saying Imavov, and this might be a tough fight. But I'm going to back up with Adesanya no matter what. For me, I'm an outsider fan. But it was a good fight. It was a good fight for as long as it lasted. The first round was good. It was competitive. But this is big for Imavov. Imavov now, hands down, that leads him to bigger matchups, higher ranked. He's already a win away from title shot, or already next contender for title shot. Hamza and then Imavov, and this is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm torn with this one. I really can't lie, but of course we gotta keep it. We say it how it is, and Adesanya has lost. So let's get right to the next one, and then we do a quick little Shara. So I got the Imavov Adesanya wrong because I was going for Adesanya, obviously, but Shara and Michael Page. What was I saying in the prediction? Let's go. MVP. I called this one because it's all about the styles when it comes to the fights, honestly. That's why I felt like Adesanya had a tough style. MVP is so awkward to deal with on the feet. And he's honestly really hard to hit as well. MVP is extremely hard to hit. Obviously, he only had 3 fights in the UFC. Against Kevin Holland, Ian Gary, and now Shara MVP. But you can see that his style is unlike anyone other. It's extremely hard to emulate that in a training camp. And it's really effective. It truly is. Against Kevin Holland was hard to hit him. He took him down for a second. But other than that, he was piecing up Kevin Holland, spinning elbows. Gary couldn't even strike with him. He stifled Gary's offense on the feet. Gary had to take him down, had to control him, had to win other ways. He almost beat Gary. And then Shara, this was the perfect example of when I was doing the breakdown. I'm looking at the stats. I'm like, MVP has the reach advantage. He has the reach advantage, and he's extremely good at already using that the blitz, the reach, the range. MVP, Shara had nothing for MVP. Like as I'm watching it, I have the whole live reaction. As I'm watching it, I'm like, I did a live companion for this fight night, and it was actually good. I had a good time. I'm like, yo, Shara is having such a problem dealing with MVP's style. He can't even strike. Like, he can't get his offense off. He was doing little leg kicks here and there to MVP's lead leg, whatever. But other than that, Shara wasn't able to get his hands off. MVP only had like 1 or 2 total strikes to his head the entire fight. The rest was like little leg kicks or up and close, a body shot. But Shara was completely shut out from his stand-up. And this is where the styles come to play. The fact that he doesn't have the grappling in his bag, the clinch, take you down, this, that, trips. That, and if it was going to be just a strictly striking fight, MVP was piecing Shara. Blitzing at his distance, feinting, coming in, boom. Big shots. This was a good fight for MVP. This was another good, and at middleweight as well. Him moving up to fight at middleweight. This was a good fight. I call this one MVP. Let's go MVP. And I'm a fan of MVP as well. Sergey Pavlovich and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Okay, so, of course, look at the total strikes. That is disgusting. 145 to 23. I went for Jairzinho Rozenstruik because I thought Sergey was kind of on the decline. And I would think that if they were to, if it was to go the distance, it would be Jairzinho because of the kickboxing and everything. Jairzinho was throwing the weakest little front kicks to Pavlovich, while Pavlovich was ready with the hands. This was one of the most boring, wackest fights. And it was just like, everyone was waiting at the edge of the seat because they know that it could be a knockout at any moment. And it went the entire 3 rounds. Unanimous decision for Sergey. And it's just like, he even got a few takedowns at a point. It was a good win for Sergey in the sense of getting back in the win column. He needed that W after the 2 losses that he suffered back to back. But very anticlimactic and not really the fight that people were expecting. People were expecting a finish or something at least more exciting. And this wasn't the funnest fight, but I'll admit I got this one wrong. But it still wasn't the best fight either. This fight was fire. Said Nurmagomedov and Vinicius Oliveira. This fight was actually extremely good. And if you technical, real sloppy, but it was still a good fight. They both gassed out after the first round. Second round, you can already tell. I'm like, oh my God. Because I had Said winning because of the style, because of the grappling, mixing it up, because of his kickboxing, how quick he is. But Vinicius Oliveira is nice all around. He has heart, he has dog. And this was a great fight. Looking at the stats, total strikes 69 for Nurmagomedov to 68 for Oliveira. 3 takedowns. You see, the grappling was what I wasn't expecting to be the change, but that was the winning factor for Oliveira. Because Said, they were both gassed, but Said was even more gassed. He was like winded. He was you know what it is? It's the explosive, flashy style. The crazy kicks, the quickness, that gets you tired quicker. And the moment that second round came, I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh my God, he's gassed. I'm like, I don't think he's going to make it to the end. I'm like, and Vinicius was gassed too, but he was still putting in the work and he was still fighting with heart. This was all the way a fight to the end, all the way to the scrap. And this was a good one. And Vinicius pulled this one out decision. Just out-dogging Said. Caught his second one towards the third round and just put it on him. A good little underdog play. Faris Zion versus Mike Davis. I was going for Faris. I predicted him to win. And I'm not even going to lie, this was a bloody, violent, back and forth fight. Not necessarily back and forth, but there were certain exchanges for Mike Davis. But Faris was really putting it on him bad. Looked like they could have been a point for some. Mike Davis was looking so flat-footed, and I don't know, he looked bad in there, honestly. He just did. didn't look the best in my opinion. But Faraz was looking good, looking sharp, looks dangerous. He got caught in like a crazy leg. Mike Davis had his on one of his knees, I believe his right knee, in a crazy leg position. I thought, oh my God, we're gonna see his knee pop on TV, but it didn't, and he got out the position, put it on him from ground and pound. This was another violent, bloody fight. This was a gritty war. Nice win for Faraz, really pulling that out the mud. Muhammad Naimov versus Khan Ofli. I was going for Muhammad as well because Khan Ofli's last fight, Muhammad's last fight as well, he got finished by the Brazilian, but Khan Ofli's last fight was more recently, and it was devastating on I believe it was the final fight for the Contender Series to get that the contract or whatever, or however that works, and he got a bad finish, left, right hook, and put out so bad, and I'm like, oh no. And Muhammad is nice. I was looking at Muhammad's style. I'm already like, oh yeah, Muhammad is nice. And he put it on Khan Ofli. People expected a finish, but it was a good decision in the sense of Khan Ofli protecting himself and surviving. Shamil. People was hating on Shamil after the last decision. They thought, oh, Shamil back in with the KO. He was looking for that right hand over and over. Just a heavy right hand that drops Thomas Peterson in the first round KO. We was going with Shamil as well. This was nice. A nice finish, had the crowd going crazy. Terrence McKinney and Amir Hazak. This was a must-win for Terrence. And Terrence, honestly, in the first round is so dangerous. He's so quick, explosive, everything. Snapping kicks, punches, shooting takedowns, boop, 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 combinations. He took him down, ground and pounded Demir. This was another good win, needed win for Terrence after some bad losses, some bad finish losses that he suffered recently. We was also going with Jasmine. So we got a few right on this. We was also going with Jasmine. And if you're new, like and subscribe, is locking it, the join the MMA gang. We was going with Jasmine, Jazz Divizius, because I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a few of her fights and she's nice in the feet. She's locked in. She's from Canada, man. We locked in for me. I'm a fan. And I think she's going to be nice. She's going to be on the come for sure. She gets more in the groove and mixing it up and the skills and everything. And just putting that together. This was a good one for her as well. Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. A little competitive in the beginning, but then Bogdan got on top of him, absolutely put it on him, ground and pound, got him out of there quick. Bogdan could be a future competitor for the featherweight division. I can't even lie. This was a good scrap. And then Hamdi Abdelwahab versus Jamal Pogus. This was an absolute robbery. Let's keep it nice and simple. Absolute robbery. Jamal clearly won 2-3. This was insane. This was a robbery, easily. One of the worst we've seen recently. They gave it to their guy from that side of the world, and this was bad. But honestly, and I went for Jamal, so I'm counting that as a win as well. We got a lot of them right on this one. I'm devastated. Adesanya lost by KO. MVP won though. Flashy style moving up. Sergey, boring decision. Good fight now overall. It was nice and early. I enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace. I hope you have a great day. Lock in. MMA. We got a whole bunch of UFC events coming up. Let's do this. Let's lock in. And what's next? What's next for Adesanya? What's next for Michael Page? What's next for Imavov? Let's match him up next time. Like and subscribe. Peace. Enjoy your day. I love ya.